Welcome. This is Coach Simple Real Estate, and it's for CRE teams. And I'd like to take you on a quick walkthrough. Basically, we are a onboarding, coaching, and sales tracking system. It's used by your associates within your organization and your managers. And of course, there's executive views that will let you see everything at the highest level. We import or integrate with any platform that has an API. So if you have a transaction system or CRMs, we're happy to pull data in for reporting and to help your managers get a better snapshot of what's going on in the office. Logged in as an executive, you'll see that whether you have multiple offices or multiple teams, you'll see those appear here, as well as the agent counts. I'm going to pop over into Atlanta and take a deep dive on Atlanta here. And so the first thing you're going to see is all of your agents, all of your associates are going to be listed with their goals, both their goal in terms of commission as well as how many deals they should need to get to that goal. You're going to get your year-to-date numbers, and you're going to see last year if there's any data for last year. In addition, you'll see the progress versus goal. So this is very helpful when you're coaching or managing your agents to be able to quickly see a snapshot to understand where they are versus goal. If it's October and they're, 59% of the way there, it's a discussion on what can they close in the next 3 to 4 months that'll get them to their goal. If they're only at 28%, of course, that's a totally different conversation about, what happened to the business plan, what happened to the marketing and the efforts that were needed earlier in the year, and why are they so far behind. So so as a coach or manager, you want to have access to this snapshot of information, and this is a great way to start. In addition, we have a sales tracker, and so we'll pull in all sales activity. You can filter these lists for any date range you choose. I'll pull the last 30 days, for example. If you're having contests within your office to see who can make the most appointments or have the most conversations, you can quickly filter for these. And so, for example, we'll see how many meetings were booked in the last 30 days and who's on the top of the leaderboard. So these tracker fields, these metrics that you track, these can be completely customized to your organization and to your CRM, or if you want them to come in and add a weekly or a daily summary of their activities, that's easy to do in our platform as well. We have a pipeline system, and so this pipeline report will either pull in the transactions from your transaction management system or accounting, or they can use our pipeline directly in the interface. And we do have a number of commercial agents who are using our pipeline to keep track of their deals. You'll be able to have your team enter their deal by deal information, or again, import from different systems if they're using either a CRM or using some kind of transaction system. So you'll be able to report across a number of different variables. For example, we can filter by the sales rep, we can look at the source of these deals. And so the reporting is very dynamic. You can search for any date range and a number of other variables. At the detail level, you'll be able to see the specific deals and what's going on with each of your reps as well. And then the contacts is a very lightweight CRM. We're not trying to replace the full-fledged CRMs that you might use, but as a very simple tool to keep track of the clients that you are talking to that have deals that either have pipeline or you've closed in the past. This is a very simple and easy to use CRM to get the real lightweight reporting that you might need as a manager or an executive to oversee what's happening with your associates. And so they can use this, or we can import from CRMs, depending on what they're using. Especially if you're new to business, you may not have a full-blown CRM or want to pay the $100 or $150 a month per associate, for them to be in a Salesforce-based CRM. And so this is a great way for them to start because it's really pipeline focused and it keeps track of the people that they're actually in active conversations with. And so using the simple pipeline combined with the lightweight CRM is a great way to start. Over time, it might be appropriate for them to migrate into a full-fledged CRM for their day-to-day communications. But this is a great way to start, especially for newer people in the business as you're taking them through the process over the first 3 to 6 months. Your managers can enter any kind of conversations and notes in our coaching module. Our product is used by coaches and used by companies. So coaches do use us to track their coaching sessions with their clients. We have a number of real estate coaches who use the product. And so you can use the same tools that they use and have your managers use those to keep track of everything going on. And so you can see this month or last month or even this year, how many sessions have occurred. And then you can drill into the specific agent and pull up their profile. And so we'll talk a little bit about the details now of if you're having a conversation with Michelle, what kind of information will your managers have access to immediately as they're having this conversation? So the first thing we show is the commissions that they've earned so far this year, as well as last year's commissions. We also show the business plan goal versus actual. So that's a nice quick snapshot for you to understand what size business they're trying to accomplish, where they're at, how they're doing, and where they might need some help. In addition, you'll see their scorecard, roll-ups. You'll see an actual scorecard that the agents can load, and they can literally click the plus sign as they're going, so they can just leave this tab open if they're making calls. We also have a mobile app where they can log the same data there, or end of day or end of week, they can come in and say, I made 53 calls, and just type in the number. They actually had 8 conversations and booked 4 meetings. Now you'll set up goals with your agents, especially the newer ones. And so this way they'll actually be able to see what their goal is and if they've accomplished the goal for the day. You'll also be able to add point system into the sales tracking if you'd like to use that in order to tell them, hey, we don't know what activities you're going to do each day, but get to 100 points. So if that means making 50 calls at a point apiece, plus getting on a couple meetings or going to a networking event, you want to get them to a certain number of points per day in order to gamify the business and create a little more competition in terms of that ability to do the work you need to build out the business. In addition, we have the tasks related to the clients that they're putting in the pipeline, as well as the coaching tasks, the tasks that they're agreeing to when they're doing one-on-ones with their manager. I'm going to pop over into our coaching form and give you a little more details here. So here on the coaching form, you'll see that you can enter coaching notes on any session you're having with any of your associates. We also have a private notes box here that only you and the admins will see. And so it starts off hidden, and the manager can enter some private notes if needed. And in addition, these are those follow-up action items we discussed. And if there's a due date, they'll get an email reminder on that date. So that's really helpful because you can set them, and then the associate themselves are more responsible for their own actions. Even if they completed some of these tasks but forgot to tell the system on these dates, they'll get email notified and be able to come in and update those. You also see all the history of conversations that have occurred in the past, so it's a really easy way to get a summary. Just to pop into a few more areas, we do have an onboarding system. So if you onboard frequently, we can automate that. Even if you don't do it frequently, you can create a program that acts more like a resource library. So the individuals can come in, figure out how to get their business cards or upload their professional photo, but also watch the different training videos for different software, learn about the transaction process. So it could be a learning process, it could be a training process. And so you can completely customize this to the actual materials that you want them to have access to. You can also do questionnaires and ask them information about themselves, of course, videos, and then even just download PDFs, things like that, acknowledge that they got them. It's a very diversified platform. You can put any content you want into the onboarding, and you'll be able to load that for the new to business agents. The pipeline we showed previously, this will, of course, only be Michelle's pipeline at this point, so this is filtered for her. Sales activity tracker, when you deep dive into that, you'll get better reporting on the amount of activity that they're doing, and you can filter by any of the metrics you want. So in terms of seeing what kind of meetings are getting set up and how she's doing over time. And so basically the profile here allows a manager to see everything about Michelle in really just one click. The advisor view will be the summary of everything, and oftentimes is enough information for the manager to start the conversation. Then you can deep dive into any of these modules. So that's a really quick overview of our platform. The goal is to help you and your managers engage in more coaching-oriented conversations with your teams, and also provide a real lightweight CRM and a really great pipeline system for especially newer agents and associates who are new to the business. So you can monitor what's going on with them and keep track of how they're doing and the kinds of activities that they're doing, so you can have meaningful conversations with them and get them on the right track to achieving their goals.